So now let's start to draw more complex lines in the canvas. And this is part 4 of the Canvas API tutorial. So what we're going to do now is we're going to scroll down here, and what we have here so far is a very simple line here. But I can imagine you might want to move it diagonal, or you want to change it, or you want to have maybe more lines. Well, let's start to do something. I'm going to start with very basics. So what we're going to do here is the first thing, we can just basically create a new line, and we will put that somewhere here up with 100 pixels from to the right, and then 100 pixels down. So we're going to say a ctx.begin path, and then basically this would indicate we're going to reset. So we want to make sure that whatever the color is here will not be passed on here. This is very important. And of course, the line will start at the official beginning. This will be, I will show you later on why this matters. So then we can say here, well, in this case, I will just change the color, and let's use another color. Let's say 54, 162, and then here 235. So this will give us a nice blue color. And then here again, we're going to grab here the line width of 10 pixels. And then our starting point will be move to, and let's make this a simple item. So move to, make sure it's capital T. We're going to start here 100 by 100. So that will be 100 by 100 pixels. And then we're going to say CTX line 2. And then here we're going to indicate where we want to move it. So if it's 100 by 100 and we want to move it somewhere down here, what we have to do is like a diagonal line. So that will mean here, for example, 300 by 300 pixels. And once we did that, we're going to say ctx.stroke to draw the line, save it, then refresh. You can see here now we have this nice light blue line here. Beautiful. And what we could do, for example, here is to connect this line to go up again. So what we could do here is this. If we just copy all of this, put it in here, and then we just say we're going to start here at 300 by 300. And then what we want to do now is from 300 to 300, I want to move again more to the right, and I want to move again back to the upper position here. So to do that, in height, we're going to work here with 300 by 300 as a starting point. That would mean this is the starting point. Going up on the Y value is 100. So we're going to say here, this will be 100, but this one here will not be 100. Why? If we would go back 100, we will go back here, basically to the left 100, and then we go up here. So what I want to do here is I want to go to the right and have the same amount of movement. So that would mean here about 200 pixels different. So I want to go to the right from 300, 200 pixels more. So 300 plus 200 will be 500 here. So if I save this now and I refresh, you can see here now we have moved this nicely. But what happens here, you might notice it, the line itself is not connected. And the reason why it's not connected, we always use the begin path. That will mean that it's not connected here. And if I would change as well, we could even change the color here. Let's copy this and put it in here. Save that, refresh. We could have now a blue line, and we have here now a reddish pink line. So we could make this even more complicated by doing another one. So I'm going to just add another one so we have a nice shape of a zigzag. So what we're going to do here, and for example, this will be again a blue color when we're going down. So how are we going to continue on? So first of all, we need to make sure that we're back at 500. So we need to be here 500 by 100, meaning 500 pixels from the left going to the right, and then 100 pixels down. So if you would really calculate, the corner up here is 0 pixels, 0.0 for X and Y. And then if you want to go to the right side, we have here 500 pixels, and then we need to go down 100 pixels. So what we're going to do then here from here, we go back here and move again 200 pixels to the right, but then also 100, or how many pixels this was, 200 pixels to the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, as you can see here, that is 200. So what we need to do here is the following. We have the 500, and then from the 500 here, we are on 100. So from 100, that's our starting point. Then here, what we're going to do here is we're going to move again 200 pixels, and then this here needs to go down, so we need to again go back to the 300. So if I do this, save that, refresh, now we have another line, and let's make the final line here as a final exercise. So we have this now, and I have this zigzag here, and I just want to make sure that this is a different color. Let's grab this color here, and later on I'm going to show you why this matters. Have the line width here, and then here we're going to start, as a starting point would be this, and that here, and finally here, this will be 900 by 100. If I save that, refresh, now we have this here. But of course, this is a big issue. It is not connected, and the reason why it's not connected is basically we didn't connect them because we reset here. Remember, when we use begin path, we reset the state of the line or shape. So if it's not connected, we are resetting it all the time. So what we could do here, because this is quite long and redundant, we could reduce the amount by using a line tool here. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to copy this here. This movement is basically similar to here. It's only one line, and if we put this line here, and I'm going to comment out this, you will see now, and if I save this, refresh, it will now be nicely connected. But there's one thing that changes here. The color changes, and the reason why the color changes is, of course, now it's within the same path. But here's another item as well. You can see here this red one here. So if I comment out this, and I also comment out the color and save that, what will happen, it will grab the original color assigned elsewhere, because the begin path here doesn't see the reset. And this is very important. Or sorry, without the begin path, you don't have a reset. So you could reassign this here, that is fine, and then it will still work, but you might see here what is happening. Everything else starts to impact. So you don't want this. This is very important when you start to draw shapes. So let's finalize this one here, so we have a nice, very concise item, and then we're going to remove all the excess code here. This was 700 by 300, and finally we're going to copy this, and we're going to move the last one, which was, if I'm not mistaken, 900 by 100. The 900 by 100, if I save this and I'm going to remove all of this, we have exactly the same line, except now it is nicely connected, even here with the nice dots, but also all same color and in a very concise code. This becomes very important later on when you're making different shapes.